Welcome to the podcast. I'm David, and today we're diving into, everything you need to know about Medicare in 2025. And you know what? This is actually a very big year for Medicare, as we're seeing some of the most significant changes to the program in decades. And some of these changes are admittedly great news for beneficiaries, while others, they're just, let's just say you're going to really want to pay some attention to your budget. We've got premium issues across the board. We've also got some game-changing improvements that could save you thousands. So grab your notepad or your computer and let's break down what 2025 means for your Medicare coverage. All right, well, let me start with the best news. And actually, this is huge. If you're on Medicare prescription drug coverage, 2025 brings the end of the dreaded donut hole. That is that coverage gap that left so many seniors scrambling to pay for medications. It's gone. And here's what's replacing it. A simple $2,000 annual out-of-pocket maximum. Once you hit that $2,000 limit, you pay nothing, $0 for coveraged Medicare drugs for the rest of the year. Now, think about what this actually means. In the past, you could very easily spend $5,000, $8,000, or even more on medications in a single year. Now, your maximum is capped at $2,000. So for people taking expensive medications, this is absolutely life-changing. But, of course, there's a catch, and here's the catch, because there's always a catch. So a survey shows that 87% of Medicare beneficiaries haven't even heard about this change yet. So don't be in that group. This could actually save you many thousands of dollars. There's also a new payment plan option that lets you spread your drug costs throughout the year instead of paying large amounts all up front. It doesn't actually reduce your total cost, but it definitely does help with cash flow if you take expensive medications. The Part D deductible is now $590, and average premiums are running around $46.50 per month. If you qualify for extra help, and they have expanded eligibility to 150% of the federal poverty level, your costs could even be lower. All right, of course, there's some not so good news. So now for the reality check. Medicare premiums are going up pretty much everywhere in 2025. Part B, your medical insurance, just jumped from $174.70 per month to $185 per month. That's more than a $10 increase, and the annual deductible rose to $257. If you're a higher income beneficiary, you're looking at even bigger hits through IRMA, those income-related surcharges. Depending on your income, your total Plan B premium could range anywhere from $259 to nearly $629 per month. Yeah, you heard that right. Some people are paying over $600 monthly just for Part B. Now, for Part A, most of you still get it premium-free if you've worked and paid Medicare taxes for at least 10 years. But if you have to buy it, you're looking at either $285 or $518 per month, depending on your work history. The Part A hospital deductible also went up to $1,676 per benefit period. That's $44 more than last year. And if you need extended hospital stays, those daily copays are brutal. $419 per day for days 61 through 90. And wait for it, $838 per day after that. All right, so over half of Medicare beneficiaries, about 33.8 million people, are enrolled in Medicare Advantage plans. But 2025 is bringing some challenging news for this popular option. The government increased payments to Medicare Advantage plans by 20% per person this year. That's an additional $84 billion in federal spending. Now, you'd think that would mean better benefits for you, right? Well, unfortunately, not so much. Instead, major insurers like Humana and Aetna are actually cutting back. They're withdrawing from some markets and reducing those extra perks you might have gotten used to. Things like transportation benefits, over-the-counter allowances, or wellness programs. That makes your annual enrollment period, October 15th through December 7th, more critical than ever. You might find that your payment plan is no longer available in your area, or that it's cut benefits that you were undoubtedly counting on. The message here is clear. Just don't auto-renew. Review your options carefully because the Medicare Advantage landscape, well, it's shifting very quickly. All right, drug pricing. Well, here's where things get political, but I'll keep it or try to keep it simple. Medicare now has the power to negotiate prescription drug prices directly with pharmaceutical companies, something that was previously forbidden. The Congressional Budget Office projects that this could save Medicare nearly $98.5 billion over the next decade. That is real money that could keep the program sustainable and potentially reduce costs for beneficiaries. Yeah, of course, there is a wrinkle. The 2025 reconciliation law includes provisions that could actually delay negotiations on some high-cost drugs. Now, these carve-outs could reduce the projected savings by at least $5 billion over 10 years. Yeah, it might be some progress, admittedly, but not as much progress as we could have had. But still, movement towards controlling prescription drug costs is generally, and in my opinion, a win. All right, there is a budget reality check, of course. Now, let me give you the long-term reality check that's keeping Medicare policy experts up at night. The 2025 reconciliation bill creates a deficit of up to $3.5 trillion over the next 10 years. That triggers something called pay-go, automatic spending cuts to balance the budget. Now, these cuts could total around $500 billion to Medicare between 2026 and 2034. That's not pocket change. That's serious money that could affect your benefits down the road. Now, I'm not trying to scare you, but you do need to understand that Medicare faces real financial pressures, and we've all heard about this in the news. The program is growing rapidly as baby boomers age, and the math is, it's challenging. And this is why it's so important to maximize your benefits now and plan for potential changes in the future. Okay, so what does this actually mean? I mean, what should you actually do with all of this information? First, if you're on Part D prescription drug coverage, make sure you understand the new $2,000 out-of-pocket cap. Review your medications with your doctor and pharmacist to see how this affects your annual costs. Second, if you're in Medicare Advantage, don't sleepwalk through this year's enrollment period. Your plan might not exist next year, or it might have cut benefits you value. Compare your options carefully. Third, if you're approaching Medicare age, understand that these premium increases are real. Budget accordingly. That Part B premium increase alone could cost you an extra $123 every year. Fourth, if you're struggling with Medicare costs, look into help programs. Medicare savings programs and extra help have expanded, and you might qualify for assistance that you didn't even know existed. And finally, and as always, stay informed. Medicare is changing rapidly, and what you don't know could and maybe will cost you money. The bottom line is 2025 is a year of significant Medicare changes. The Part D improvements are genuinely exciting and could save many of you serious money. But premium increases and Medicare Advantage cutbacks mean you need to pay attention and make informed choices. Medicare remains one of the most valuable benefits that you will ever receive, but it's not a set-it-and-forget-it program. The rules change. The costs change. and your needs change as you age.